In Michigan, a state shaped like your hand, we realize that sometimes if you want to make something better, you just have to roll up your sleeves and do it yourself. Here, Terri Lynn Land, born in West Michigan, is no stranger to that idea. Sometimes where we come from can shape who we become.
Growing up in West Michigan in Granville with our family was a unique experience. Most kids had parents that went to work in the morning and came home at night. Well, my family was in a family business. It was 24/7, but it was all a family, and we did what we needed to do to make the business successful. Paul Land, my father, and Robert Land, my uncle, they decided to build a trailer park, actually, one of the first trailer parks in West Michigan. And then they also built a small motel, actually, on the site in front of the trailer park. And that's actually where my parents lived when they first got married. Then, of course, I was born, and my sister, and then they moved into a trailer, which was a great experience. There was a lot of friends that I had there. You could walk around the park, and you always had a friend to play with.
In a family business, everyone chips in, and everything counts. Like father, like daughter, Terri's father motivated her from a very young age to do more than what was just expected.
Thought I was actually going to be a teacher or a nurse, because back 30-some years ago, those were choices that women had, and there weren't a lot of other choices.
He believed in her from an early age. He supported her, told her that she could accomplish whatever she wanted to. And I have to believe that that was part of the reason why she believed that being a woman in politics was doable, is because that the faith that her dad put in her.
But I was changing my major, changed to political science. My mom was a little concerned because she thought I wouldn't be able to get a job with a degree in political science, but I assured her it was going to be fine.
Working on several campaigns and pushing herself further with her education, nothing seemed to get in the way of this young Michigander.
She really started as a normal, regular person, a businesswoman, and just pushed herself and grew from there and never left her town behind. Especially someone who wants to work in politics, it can be hard, to get where you want and to achieve all your goals. It's definitely a hard field to be in. And Terri's kind of showed me that, in her time, it was so much harder to get to where she was. Women just weren't able to have these roles, especially conservative women.
As her career in politics continued, Terri never forgot what it was like to try to break in.
She's always tried to assist women to run for office. I think she understands how important it is and the different perspective that women bring to the policy discussion. Especially if you are a mother, then you are seeing the world in a different way, and I can appreciate that myself as a mother. But also because women make up 50% of the population. I mean, it only makes sense that you would have some type of parity between the genders as far as lawmaking is concerned.
As Terri Lynn Land progressed through politics, some of her biggest accomplishments occurred during her time as Secretary of State.
So in Michigan, the Secretary of State essentially administers the entire process of motor vehicles as well. And rather than a DMV, Michigan has a Secretary of State branch office. And those are definitely kind of a frontline customer service type of business.
I remember when she took over from her predecessor, she says, "Okay, Terri, I visited all 180 branch offices in my first term, so you should try to do that." And Terri looks at us and says, "We're doing it in a year." And my staff and I kind of looked at each other like, how is that gonna work exactly? But I'll tell you, we got it all done, and we got it done in 9 months. So we had kind of the end of the year to relax. And guess what she said in January? "All right, time to start the branch office tours again." So we got back in the car and we visited all 83 counties all over again.
She had a letter on a desk of complaint, and how when she was there, she would just call the people, and they would say, "Who are you? Who's calling?" "This is Terri Lynn. I'm Secretary of State. What's your problem? Why didn't that work out?" All the other folks that were longtime employees would listen by the door because they couldn't believe what she was doing. But that's how she is. She's very straightforward, matter of fact, addressed the problem.
As Secretary of State, Terri Lynn Land made each branch more efficient by making some of the services available online. This made things easier for the customer. and in this case, a citizen of Michigan.
In state government, that really touches as many people's lives in such a direct way, at least on that day when they did make a trip to the branch office. And there were so many times I got phone calls from people, and literally this is what people would say. I took the entire afternoon off expecting to wait in line in a dirty, stinky Secretary of State branch office. I couldn't believe when I got there. It was clean, it smelled good, the staff was nice to me, and I was out in 15 minutes. I didn't even know what to do with the rest of my day.
And then about a year later, she came home one night and she said, I don't get those letters anymore. And so but that was symptomatic of the fact that she found out what the issue was and she corrected it.
Never one to back down from anything, Terri has always pushed forward in whatever she could do, no matter how small. And just as many believed in her, she believed in others.
And I tell women all the time, if you're not there, they're going to make decisions without you. So you want your voice heard.
Terri really pushed herself and moved ahead in a time where women just didn't do that. So to see what she was able to do many years ago when it was so much harder makes me feel like I can achieve anything in today's time. And she's shown me that you just have to have the strength and resolve and dedication to just move forward and get to where you want to be.